Hello there. My name is Molly, my co-host Corey. We are the Real Guys, and this is the Real Show with two ears. What was first just a dream has become a frightening reality for those that may oppose us.
It took
As always, I'm with my co-host Corey. I'm so glad I nailed that. I was always with my co-host Corey. How are you doing today, Corey?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Very, very good. And as always, you can listen to us on any audio platform, wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. That's right. It's time for Ahsoka. I literally cannot wait.
You can't.
I know I can't. I've had to sit through months and months since August to wait to review this. We reviewed the first episode. We weren't here in the studio to do it.
No.
We reviewed the first episode, and now we're finally here reviewing the full series, and I could not be happier.
Yes.
Corey, you didn't watch it week to week.
No.
You binged it.
Correct.
What was that feeling like?
Oh, it was good because it has its drawbacks sometimes. Sometimes if you get a bit of a cliffhanger, it's nice to have to wait a week. Mm-hmm. If you binge something, that isn't the case. You go, I'll find out what happens in about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's what it is.
For sometimes when obviously Disney Plus does theirs bingeable, and something like that Netflix will just go, here's a whole thing. But I liked it. Just put it on. You can do other stuff there. Reels off. Eight episodes.
8 episodes. Let's go into it.
Yep.
Ahsoka is back from The Mandalorian. It's
Correct.
Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, the famous Star Wars character now. She's up there with...
She is up there now.
Obi-Wan Anakin, I'd say, right now.
I mean, arguably
Ahsoka
she was
is
anyway in the Clone Wars and stuff when that came out. But in terms of now live action, she's up there.
Mm-hmm. And she's not alone. She's with effectively half the cast of Star Wars Rebels are also here in live action. Finally, well, we got Zeb in the last Mandalorian season. Yep. We got CGI Zeb. Here we get Natasha Liu Bordizzo, fantastically done as Sabine Wren. It's very hard to find someone that actually looks like the animated version.
Yeah,
which is strange. Cut her hair, and Natasha really nails it as Sabine. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Hera Syndulla, I think she does great as well. Very small role, slightly more minor than I would have thought. But a bit of a supporting cast here, but I like Hera very much. We've got Jason Syndulla is back, the son of Hera Syndulla and Kanan Jarrus. We don't get Kanan Jarrus in this, well, we kind of do.
Yeah.
We get a picture in the Ghost, which looks like Freddie Prinze Jr., who voiced Kanan from Rebels. The big Rebels character is here. Grand Admiral Thrawn himself.
Correct.
Mithra Narodo is here, played by Lars Mikkelsen, who voices him in Rebels, which everyone was waiting for. There was a lot of... We'll get into it. There was a lot of contention about the casting here. There was a lot of big casting choices
There was a lot of big casting choices.
One of the big casting choices made is one of the original characters, Baylan Skoll, as played by the late great Ray Stevenson. Yep. Obviously, Ray Stevenson passed away before the completion of this series. He'd done all his shooting, and while this series was set to release, he passed away, unfortunately. But we'll talk about what they're going to take Baylan in future in Season 2. Mm-hmm. But let's start with Baylan Skoll, because he's who opened the series with. He's who opened the series with Episode 1. Yep. And we carry through his journey with Morgan Elsbeth, who's played by... Deanna Lee, I don't want to get this right. Incentino, I think.
Yes.
Insantino. Strangely enough, the goddaughter of Bruce Lee.
Ah.
Did you know that?
Did not know that.
And she did all her own fight scenes, so she's part of that legacy, that martial arts legacy. And I think she does great as Morgan Elsbeth. Fantastic work.
Nice.
Now, Ray Stevenson, the Dark Jedi, Baylan Skoll.
Yep.
Quite the interesting character.
Yeah.
How did you feel with these sort of the Dark Jedi influence in this series?
I liked it.
Outside of the Force, you'd say that Ahsoka isn't even a Jedi because she left the Order.
Yeah, I like it. It just adds a bit more to the universe and the thing. It's just good to see stuff in live action. It's just a little bit different, a little bit interesting. Add stuff to the characters. As well, because obviously when Baylan Skoll first came out, it had the whole thing with your whole orange lightsaber, and people thought it would change or that kind of thing. I liked it. I thought it was an interesting character.
He was
a
very interesting character, yeah, of course. But no more interesting than his apprentice Shin Hati, who has taken off into the stratosphere, people say. Twitter be going crazy. The internet loves a bit of Shin Hati, and so do I. Ivana Sarko is like God's gift to mankind now, apparently.
Yeah.
And she's just absolutely tearing it up,
Yeah.
and I love it. I really do. She does so much. I think it's the case. It's the Boba Fett rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
She does so much with so little that you're kind of like, oh, she's so enigmatic and cool, and she's this sort of seeker. She's very calculated, very precise. She never moves that much.
Yep.
It's like that's what makes her so awesome. She just kind of looks at things and moves her head slightly and kind of turns around and walks off. And then everyone goes, ah! Everyone just melts. And that is the best thing. I feel like Ivana Sarkno, she'll be probably back for season 2 if we get to the plot of this for Shin Hati. And I think Shin Hati is just one of the successes of this show with Baylan. I think Shin Hati is just absolutely awesome. I think she's really cool.
Yeah.
She's got that great sort of the lightsaber combat in this. We can get onto that.
Yes.
Lightsaber combat is very refined. It's a lot. The prequels was very flashy, very.
It was very kind of twirly
maneuvers. With this, I feel like it's a lot more. Original trilogy.
Yeah.
As much as as Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader is kind of two old men tapping swords. It gets up into Return of the Jedi where there's actually a bit where it feels like sword combat, and this feels a bit like sword combat. Baylan's got the heavy swings like a broadsword. Yeah. Ahsoka's got the kind of dual wielding. Sabine's not that great.
No.
At saber combat, but she's getting there. Yeah. She's getting there. She can hold her own. And Shin is very aggressive, very precise. There's a lot of a bit of spinning, but there's also a lot of cuts, a lot of slices, a lot of slashers, as you can see in the series. Let's go to the plot.
Yeah, big thing.
Take us into the plot. The big thing. Who's missing? Who's in exile after the end of Star Wars Rebels season 4? Ezra Bridger.
Yeah, correct.
And Thrawn.
Your big boy.
My big boy.
Your big boy.
Big boy. Yeah, he's
big boy.
It's the Chiss Grand Admiral.
Yeah.
I love him. He is. I do love him. He's my favourite Star Wars character.
It's not like.
I make no secret of it.
Yeah, it's not like we've not been having a discussion for the past 5 minutes before episode 1 out.
About how much this might be just about Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah.
Because it's been a long journey to get here, Corey. Let's go on to Thrawn now. Why not? It's been a long journey to get here since 1991, Heir to the Empire. The book before the prequels even came out.
No, that is
the book,
true.
Heir to the Empire, written by Timothy Zahn, came out as part of the fabled Thrawn trilogy, which goes Heir to the Empire.
Okay.
I've suddenly forgot what the second book's called.
Oh, come on.
But the last book is called Last Command. I know that.
Okay.
You can probably fill in the gaps there if you look up the trilogy. But yeah, 1991, the first book came out, and Thrawn was revealed to the world as this fantastic, very. He's compared a lot to Sherlock Holmes. He's compared a lot to Owen Rommel.
Dark Force Rising.
Thank you, and thank you very much.
Welcome.
He's the cunning tactical genius. He's able to see things people don't see. He's able to deduce. He is a great tactical genius. Also, his success in an empire. One of the reasons I love Thrawn is because of his success in an empire, which never really wanted him there, because he's an alien. He's a Chiss. He's from the unknown regions. He was banished from his culture, from the Chiss ascendancy, because of his preliminary strikes, which they saw as a violation of their code. So they exiled him. He joined the Empire. Palpatine immediately saw use in his tactical ability, and he went through. His rise to power is different in Legends, because obviously in Legends they kind of have to explain away why isn't this guy in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So they say he was in the unknown regions building something called the Empire of the Hand,
right,
which is his own confederation outside, kind of his own mini empire outside of the galaxy. In this, they kind of do the similar thing, where in the end of Star Wars Rebels, he and Ezra jet off with the Purrgil in the Star Destroyer, because Ezra saves Lothal by ridding them of the Empire and Thrawn, and the Empire never come back to Lothal, because obviously the original trilogy starts. But here we have the return of Thrawn. He's away in another galaxy, in a distant galaxy, on a world called Peridia, which is the mission of Morgan Elsbeth. Morgan Elsbeth constructs this large hyperspace ring called the Eye of Sion, where she plans to travel with Baylan and Shin to Thrawn's location on Peridia, bring him back, and restore the Empire. Because the Empire is fractured after the Battle of Jakku, and there's loads of splintering going on. So it's up to Morgan to try. That's her mission, to go and be a
Yep.
servant of Thrawn and help Thrawn return and bring about the new Empire. And isn't Thrawn just fantastic? From the moment he steps
Thrawn's
onto
great.
the screen, you're glued to him.
Yeah.
It's like he attracts your eye, and like every word he says, every time he looks at something, you're like, what's going on in his head? And that's a great way to view a character, I think.
Yeah.
As the mystery, but also the intrigue of wow, this guy, and the voice. Oh, Lars Mikkelsen blows it out the water. I'm just a big. And as an actor as well, I think Lars is great. And as Thrawn, he's just the best guy. He is in my research. Dave Filoni, in several interviews with Dave Filoni, the creator of this show and the writer and director, obviously written by Dave Filoni. Dave said that from Rebels, Thrawn was the longest casting he's ever had to have for to pick somebody who everyone's imagined in their head, the voice imagined in their head of video games and whatever, and what people have imagined of Thrawn from the novels. Now becomes Thrawn in Rebels and then in live action.
Yep.
And in Rebels they chose Thrawn, they chose Lars, and it was just immediately they've got to win there. I mean, he's the brother of Mads Mikkelsen.
He is.
And everyone loves a bit of Mads.
I love a bit of Mads.
Yeah, so do I. I love a bit of Lars as well. And he's got that. He doesn't sound like the typical Imperial officer. He even says so. He says he's seen many Imperial officers fall to the trick of the Jedi, you see, and he's not going to let that happen again. But he doesn't sound like that classic uptight British officer. You know, he's a bit Danish. There's a bit of twang in there. There's a bit of accent. It's like, you can see immediately this guy's different, not just from looking at him.
Yeah.
And obviously you got that classic white Grand Admiral uniform with
Correct.
the gold epaulettes and he's blue. He's blue.
Yeah.
Blue. And he's got the red eyes. It's just fantastic. Looking at the Chislin live action again, there was slight criticisms of I think he looks a bit pale. And his uniform comes out a bit at the front, but I think, which isn't Lars's fault. Lars is skinny as anything. He's the right people.
I've got to love
it's the uniform.
Proper Star Wars fans who are like, his uniform's a bit too much
His
at the front.
uniform is a bit too much at the front. But it's a classic. Yeah, but it is the uniform. It's not him.
Yeah.
It is the uniform, and the Imperial uniform just looks like that.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I thought he looked amazing, actually. I thought he looks amazing. I was completely whisked away by how good he looked.
No, he did look really good.
Because normally, if you paint a man blue, he's going to look a bit like an idiot.
Yeah.
But with Lars, he pulls it off because you believe that's Thrawn.
Yep.
Like, I'm not looking at... I know this might sound silly, but I don't think I'm looking at Lars Mikkelsen in blue, in a white uniform. I think I'm looking at Grand Admiral Thrawn because everything is there.
Yeah.
And that's the great characterization and the great performance that ties it all together.
It is, and you know what? You don't see him for most of the
you don't
series.
see him to most.
It's great.
The last few episodes, he only comes in episode 6.
Yeah, it's great.
And then you get him. Yeah, but it's the build-up.
Exactly.
I said in the first episode, when we reviewed the first episode,
Yep.
you got to start out with Thrawn episode 1. Let's
Yeah.
do it. But now I'm kind of like, no, I'm happy with how much we got of him.
Well, this is the
Because
thing.
he just feels like Orson Welles in The Third Man.
Yeah.
He feels like you build up. Episode 6, the night the Great Mothers say, you will wait. He will arrive soon. And you go, he's going to turn up maybe this episode, maybe next. And then Sabine's in that prison cell, and you hear the boom, and you look up and you see the Chimera coming over the top of that monolith, and you're like, he's arriving. And then you see the huge Star Destroyer, and it looks absolutely massive.
Yeah.
And you see all the stormtroopers, and they're chanting his name, and he's walking down the middle file, and you're like, this is the build. This is the grand entrance of the Grand Admiral that we need, along with Captain Enoch, a new character. Are you a fan of Captain Enoch? He's sort of taken on a bit of like a Boba Fett darling of this series as well.
You know what? I mean, Star Wars already is a vast universe with various different characters you can pull from, but yeah.
Sure. Well, Enoch's new.
That's what I mean. Bring us some new people. I'm all for it.
New people, exactly. Of course.
All for it. Add some more new people.
I was about to say it's a vast world of many different helmets. And Enoch,
well, it is.
Enoch has a very cool helmet.
It is. There's also helmets in Star Wars.
He's got like the sort of Phantom of the Opera gold mask in the sort of 80 driver helmet.
Yeah. Got a favourite helmet from Star Wars?
Good helmets, I think. Good outfits in general in this series. We can talk about the outfits for a second. Good outfits in general. I mean,
Star Wars always, especially recently, but like costume and set and visuals have always been fantastic.
Mandalorian armor on Sabine, the Balin and Shin just look badass with all their armor and cape. Hera looks fantastic as well. I think Ahsoka the white on Ahsoka really pulls off. I mean, obviously, we got a bit of white in Rebels.
Yeah.
The white robe, I guess you could call it.
Yep.
And sort of the pleats. I learned what a pleat is recently.
Oh yeah.
Like samurai pleat. It's sort of like the gilded bit on the bottom. It's not a skirt.
Yeah.
It's not a skirt. It's called pleats.
Yes.
You look at what those are. And even sort of with the Night Sisters and sort of the red, and they look like how they do in the Clone Wars with the sort of the faces and the markings. Everyone's on top form here.
Yeah.
Especially Hayden Christensen.
Yes. Which there was talk, and it was there. I remember people being like, "Oh, he's on set or he's around," and I think everyone wants to see a bit of. Obviously, you get it in Clone Wars, a bit of Anakin and Ahsoka, stuff like that, but. So it's always good to see it a bit more.
This is live action. This is Hayden Christensen.
Exactly.
In the Clone Wars outfit. The dream of many people of the fandom is to see Hayden Christensen in a Clone Wars setting.
I'm also happy for him for the fact that he was blasted in the prequels and has now come back for Kenobi and then come back for this.
Yeah, and everyone loves him.
Yeah.
If to be an actor and to have that happen to you, even Ewan and Hayden have said that. To feel the love now from the fans of the prequels and the fans of these new shows is really amazing because I think Ewan McGregor put it in the fact that their fans of the prequels were too young.
Yeah.
So and all they heard was the critics. But now they've grown up. Now those fans have grown up. Fans of the prequels like me.
Yep.
They're feeling the love of the fandom and of the greatest Star Wars fans who respect the performances of Ewan and Hayden, who are two of the best parts of the prequels.
Yeah.
Come on. And I think Hayden as Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, he pulls it off. He's only in a couple of episodes.
He
sure.
Is. Yeah, but you don't need him for
no. You don't need him for a longer period of time. And when you got him, there's nothing better than that. I think Hayden really, he's stepped it up. He's definitely stepped it up.
No, he has.
And I'm incredibly happy. I'm incredibly happy for him actually, not just as a man, but as an actor in himself and as a character.
Yeah.
To bring Anakin Skywalker to life once again in the World Between Worlds for a few episodes, it's just the best.
Oh no, it is. It's really good. It's really good to see.
And those Clone Wars sequences, my, fantastic. The AT-ATs, sorry, not AT-ATs. That's the ATTs. Thank you. Different type of walker.
Right.
The AT-AT is all-terrain armored transport has 4 legs.
Okay.
The ATT has 6 legs.
Right.
And has the big mass driver cannon at the top.
Right.
I do know the difference.
Okay, there we go. See, you've proven it right there.
Thank you. There I will hand me my Star Wars fan card back. I nearly handed it in there when I got them mixed up, but I managed to redeem myself. The ATTs, the 501st Clone Troopers, and Captain Rex.
Yep.
Did you notice Captain Rex in that episode?
Not initially.
Okay.
And then, you see, still those screenshots or whatever. And it's like, oh, yeah. So, and then I went back. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Captain Tamura Morrison to voice Captain Rex.
Obviously.
There's a couple of cameos in this.
Go on.
Clancy Brown.
I was going to say, have you got a list?
I have.
Okay.
Clancy Brown, Ryder Azadi, who's the governor of Lothal from Star Wars Rebels. Amazing live action cameo. Mm-hmm. Not really needed, but I'm glad we got it.
Yeah, why not?
Because he was on Lothal, he's okay.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown was filming Gen V at the time or something, and he managed to turn up as Ryder Azadi, which is fantastic. Because he voices Ryder Azadi.
Right.
It's like he plays him in live action, same as Thrawn. It's fantastic. There's Jai Kell, who is the senator of Lothal, who appeared in Rebels as one of when Ezra infiltrates the Imperial Academy. Jai Kell is one of the characters there, and he is now the senator of Lothal.
Yep.
We have Hamato Ziono, who is the father of Kaz Ziono from Star Wars Resistance. He's also a character from Star Wars Resistance. He's the main senator in the New Republic now, who's resistant to the Return of Thrawn, doesn't believe it.
Yep.
He's a bit of a bureaucrat. There's a couple more senators, and Admiral Akbar appears.
Oh,
in this. He's in the tribunal for Hera when Hera's on trial with Mon Mothma, who's played by Geneva O'Reilly. There's a voiceless Admiral Akbar. He's sitting there. If you noticed him, I did.
Yeah, can't miss him.
Yeah, of course, can't miss him. Paul Sun-Hyung Lee, who plays Carson Teva in The Mandalorian, he's back in this as well. Okay. Captain Carson Teva. Dave Filoni voices Chopper. He's in this. One of your favourite droids.
Yep, from Rebels.
Chopper, yeah. The Inquisitor Marek, who's played by stuntman Paul Darnell. Good for him.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you like the look of Marek, the Inquisitor Marek?
Yeah.
I said on the first episode, I think he's just a random Inquisitor, and that's it. And I was proven right.
Yeah.
Because everyone was like, oh, he's Ezra, oh, he's Starkiller, oh, he's Mara Jade, oh, he's Keed Kadak. No, he's Marek. He's just a random Inquisitor who gets killed.
Yeah.
He's a mini-boss.
Yeah,
And I was right. He's a mini-boss.
Oh, well, he's cool.
And that's it. Yeah, and then we have Captain Enoch here.
Yeah.
And the Great Mothers, you know what they're called?
I don't.
They're called Actropar, Clotho, and Lachesis. And they're played by Jeriel Prescott Galen, Claudia Black, and Jane Edwina Seymour.
Where do we get these like Star Wars names from?
Good for them. What? Actropar, Clotho, and Lachesis?
Yeah.
There you go. That is their name, but you didn't even know their names.
Whose job is it to name Star Wars like characters?
Well, funnily enough, a lot of these names I think are like biblical or something like that from this series.
Okay.
Like I know Enoch's a biblical name.
Right.
I think a lot of these like biblical or sort of witchcrafty type names because there's a lot of references to like there's a reference to the line "The Witch in the Wardrobe" in the title of this
There is
thing.
episode 8, I think.
Episode 8, yeah. There's the name. Episode 2 is called "Toil and Trouble," which is from Macbeth, which is about the witches. Part 6, Far, Far Away. It's about a Star Wars reference to the title of the films. Dreams and Madness is another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of references everywhere, but a big reference is David Tennant.
He is in this.
He's Huang,
Correct.
the droid companion of Ahsoka, and a character from the Clone Wars.
Yep.
He won an Emmy for that, I think, Yeah, for his Clone Wars episode. Yeah.
Ah.
Voice acting or something. We might have to look that up.
Oh, look well.
But I'll talk about Huang. Huang helps younglings in the Jedi Temple and on the Jedi ship to create their lightsabers, to put all the pieces together, to take that kyber crystal and give the lightsaber life. Huang's a great addition. He looks fantastic in live action.
It looks great.
I was amazed by how he was moving. Because I was like, how did they do this? Is he a puppet? He's not CG. But maybe I was fooled.
Yeah.
I think he is sort of like a stick puppet in a way. They've got to sort of move, and he kind of moves his arms and everything. But his fingers move, and his arms move, and his head moves side to side.
David Tennant won a Daytime Emmy for
thank
performance
you.
as Huang.
Is that different to a regular Emmy?
I don't actually know.
Is that a nighttime Emmy?
I'm
I don't know.
assume it's different because they've specified.
A daytime Emmy? Is that like a kids show? I don't know. Not saying that Star Wars Clone Wars is for children, but I don't know what a daytime Emmy is.
A Daytime Emmy awards for American daytime TV programs.
Oh, daytime TV. All right. Okay. Sure. Well, congratulations, David.
Yep.
Let's go into some of the episodes here. Episode 2, we've got just a couple of notes. Episode 2 has got Cetos, which is in the Denab system. But just going to say, with planet lore, going into planet lore, Cetos is in the Denab system, which is only had one reference from like a reference book or something that's like never been mentioned again.
Right.
So go on, Cetos in the Denab system, sure thing. And I actually thought he said Tanab, and Tanab is from the Battle of Tanab, is where Lando Calrissian was. But they go to Corellia, which is on Solo, and you see the same factories on Solo.
Yeah.
And Corellia is a very popular planet. They in episode 3 we have that great chase through the atmosphere of Cetos, and you see the Purgil, big star whales, huge space whales, and Hera Syndulla meets with Chancellor Mon Mothma, I've said played by Geneva Riley from Andor. You didn't watch Andor, did you?
Andor, yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, we covered Andor. Yeah, of course we did. Sorry, what am I doing?
Covered it on the show, Murray.
We covered Andor. Yeah, of course we did. You watched Andor. You bet you recognised Geneva Riley's Mon Mothma. You're like, hey, you're an Andor.
Yeah, that's exactly. Does that my reaction?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Hey, Ash, she's an Andor.
She's an Andor, yes, of course.
In that dull tone as well.
Yeah, they discover the Eye of Sion and all that. Marek and tease. Part of episode 4 is a great. Well, they had that great duel scene. Marek and Ahsoka and Shin and Sabine, and it ends with Baylan Skoll and Ahsoka in a great duel, and Baylan knocks her off the edge of the sort of henge. She falls into the water, and then Sabine just gives him the map to Thrawn. Because it's all about this orb that the Night Sisters have made. The orb is in the map inside, and the map can take you to Peridia in the other galaxy. and you can go and rescue Thrawn, take him out from his exile. Part 5, Shadow Warrior, which is a cool name. You get Jason Syndulla. You get the Clone War, the bit of the Clone Wars, the legacy of Anakin's legacy as Darth Vader, where they swap in and out. You see Anakin's body, and then for a split second, you'll see Vader, and then you'll see the Anakin again. There's another great couple of duels between Anakin and Ahsoka. And Anakin takes her kind of through the mindscape of the world between worlds, which is another dimension. It's not a time travel thing. Don't be confused, because some people are confused. Some people think it's a time travel thing. It's not a time travel thing.
Right.
It's like another dimension.
Yeah.
Where you can go to the past, but you're not actually there. See how Anakin was in the Siege of Mandalore, and he's like, I don't remember this battle.
Right.
Because he wasn't there, because it's like an alternate dimension. It's like an alternate dimension timeline. It's not a time travel thing. They're not going back in time. Just to clear that up.
Okay.
Part 6 is where it gets good.
Yep.
Because they get to Peridia. Part 6 has no Ahsoka in it at all, very much. She's in the cold open with because what their plan is to use one of the Star Whales to fly to Peridia, because Balin destroys the map, so only the Eye of Sion can travel there.
Yep.
And the bad guys can go and get Thrawn. So to pursue, Ahsoka and Huang hitch a ride on a Star Whale by parking the T6 Jedi shuttle in the mouth of the Star Whale, and the Star Whale is going to jump to hyperspace to go to Peridia, right? Because the Purrgil can naturally jump to hyperspace.
Yep.
Without needing a hyperdrive, because they're animals, do it naturally.
Yeah.
And in part 6, we get just a full episode with the villains.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is the great thing.
Yeah.
Full episode with Balin. Full episode with Shin. It's a great episode of their perspective, I'd say, on things. And to get that final reveal of Grand Admiral Thrawn is just the best thing in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
also
the best thing in the world.
It's interesting you say episode 6. It was good. Episode 6, according to IMDb, is where the decline happens in the series.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What are the ratings?
Episode 1, 7.8. 2 is 7.8. 3 is 7.4. So, and then it's like 4 is 8.6. 5 is 9.1.
Okay.
And then 6 is 8.2. And it goes back to 7.8 again for the next two.
Right.
So like episode 5 was like the peak.
Okay, right. Episode 5.
According to IMDb.
Okay.
And then it kind of just dips a little bit.
Right.
Dips a little bit. Episode 3 apparently is the worst one.
Okay, and then we get into the finale episodes of them trying to... Thrawn's effective mission to drive the plot is to get back to the galaxy by using the Eye of Sion to leave. But he has to load up some mysterious cargo from the Night Sisters first. What do you think are in those boxes?
Not what everyone's probably saying is in those boxes.
Okay.
I don't know what people are saying in those boxes.
Dead bodies.
Probably not what's... Well, maybe.
They're saying the Night Sister corpses, the corpse of the Dathomiri, because Peridia used to be a Dathomir world, like the Dathomiri, the Night Sisters. And Morgan Elsbeth said catacombs, and they look like caskets.
Yeah.
And they were listed on StarWars.com as like Dathomiri caskets or something like that.
Right.
So they're probably from the ancient homeworld, and they're just a bunch of dead Night Sisters. Because obviously the power of the Night Sisters, the Great Mother, is to bring things back to life, as we saw in the Clone Wars. And they do it as well with zombie stormtroopers.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about them? They're called the Night Troopers.
They, in all fairness, unless they have.
And it's a big. I think it's a big reference to Star Wars: The Clone Wars when the Night Sisters do that. They reanimate their own kind. But also, I think it's a massive reference to the novel Death Troopers. If you ever read that, have you ever read Death Troopers? I bet you've seen the imagery of a zombie stormtrooper before, haven't you?
Yeah.
And Death Troopers is about a prison ship which crashes into a Star Destroyer, which has a bioweapon on it, which can effectively make you a zombie, and it's like a zombie horde horror book. It's very good.
Why haven't they done that for like Halloween special? A Star Wars Halloween special.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was kind of a Halloweenish thing at the time. I think they re-released Death Troopers now. Apart from the fact that we have a Death Troopers.
Yeah.
In the finale as well, because we see Death Troopers from Rogue One.
Yeah.
The sort of big, tall, black stormtrooper with the sort of special armor and whatever. And they are also undead. So we have Death Troopers.
Yes.
Which I think is the funniest turnaround of all. But take us into the Night Trooper reveal, Corey.
The Night Trooper reveal... Give me 2 seconds there, get some notes up. As you take a swig of your...
Yes, orange juice. There's a big fight because Ezra and Sabine and Ezra builds a new lightsaber in the finale. Sorry, Ezra builds a new lightsaber in the finale.
Yeah.
And he makes a joke about how the emitter is too narrow. The blade's going to be too thin. That's a joke about everyone in Star Wars Rebels. Because in Star Wars Rebels, the lightsabers are done in the style of Ralph McQuarrie.
Right.
It's a very small blade, a very thin blade.
Right.
And everyone complains, oh, the blades are too thin.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little nod there. And they have a fight with the Night Troopers. They kill them all. And then the Great Mothers stand in a circle. They do the chanting, and they raise the green flame, and from the green flame rises the horde of Night Troopers, who are just as ineffective as the regular Stormtroopers, except they don't have guns.
Yeah.
How are they going to bite you? Through a helmet?
Maybe. I will say, though...
That one guy that had his face shot off,
yeah,
he could bite you.
Design-wise...
Yes, design-wise, very cool.
Very cool.
The red lace and sort of the gold... It's got a... Kintsugi, I think, is the name of it.
Yeah, the Japanese, like...
art of putting gold in something, and it makes it...
broken.
It's broken to make it an artifact, to make it a lot of art.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because Thrawn's main thing is, he loves art. He studies the art of war. He also studies the art of regular art.
Yeah.
To know about his opponent. That's why he wants to know everything about Ahsoka, so he can predict her movements. And he does very well.
He does.
But his main plan is to kind of wait and delay them.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a strategic plan if he wants to leave.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Balin and Shin, go and take care of Sabine. And then he goes, hey, all my Night Troopers, go and take care of Ahsoka. And he goes, hey, Morgan Elsbeth, go and take care of Ahsoka. And then by the time everyone finally dispatched everyone, he goes, right, all right, cool, let's go. And, and he just jumps away with the Eye of Sion.
Yeah.
But Thrawn's a highlight.
Yeah.
Isn't he? He's just, you're just glued to the screen. I cannot stop talking about him.
He's really good in this. And if, because I've had a quick Google, if we end up getting a sequel, which is seemingly likely, apparently it's not confirmed currently, but it's seemingly
season
likely.
Season 2.
That would be great. Also, Dave Filoni is working on a film.
Yes, apparently it's supposed to be a Mandoverse film.
Yeah. So
according to the rumour.
Going to tie together
The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka.
Yeah. So he'll probably, maybe appear in that anyway.
Thrawn, he's got to survive. He's got to be the villain of that, surely. Thrawn has to be the main villain of that film. He must be. That's the Dave Filoni. The Filoni-verse.
Yes.
The Mandoverse film. It's got to be Thrawn.
Apparently they're waiting to see how Season 1 performs, from what I know. I'm assuming Season 1's performed.
Yeah, can we just get into... Right, I'm just going to say this.
Yep.
Right? You binged it.
Correct.
Disney does not count your viewership.
No.
Because if you don't know this, Disney counts viewership week to week.
Yes.
That's why Kenobi isn't going to get another season.
Yeah.
Because if viewership drops week to week and people do not view it on the day it comes out, Disney do not consider that viewership.
Yeah.
When Netflix, for hundreds of years, has been doing the fact that it all comes out at once and people binge it and we get the numbers off that. If people wait, what people will do is, because people are human, they will wait until all the episodes come out and then they will watch it all at once.
Yep.
Because that's what people do. That's just the culture that we have fostered. And Disney do not seem to understand. I will let you talk, sorry. Disney does not understand the culture that we have fostered, that people will watch it all at once and binge it. They want week to week. This isn't network television, Disney.
No.
We need to understand this. This is a streaming service. You have one.
Yeah.
And it's good. But you need to understand, to judge viewership by binging and by people that watch it week to week. Because there will be people that watch it week to week, like me, but there will also be people who watch it when it's all done, like you.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
No, because what I was going to mention is, I'm going to watch Loki. I've seen the first, episode of Loki when it came out. I'm watching the rest of the season now, because it's either finished now or it's finishing, this week.
Season 2, yeah. If you want to know, in fact, I will be binging Loki Season 2. Because I've not seen Loki Season 2. Exactly. I'm watching Gen V at the moment. I'm not watching all of Loki. I'll watch Loki Season 2 when it all comes out.
Yeah.
We'll probably end up reviewing it.
It's just fun to binge sometimes.
Yeah,
because you get it all at once.
Exactly. As much as I love Ahsoka watching it week to week, I've got to say, it is fun to binge something. I'm going to binge all of Loki Season 2. It is fun to binge something.
Yeah.
It's the appeal is there. And Disney don't seem to understand that for some reason.
No.
That's why, I know Andor's getting a Season 2 because there's already been footage released. But for a while, we didn't think there was because of this precise reason.
You see, that's the other... If Andor gets a Season 2...
It is going to get a Season 2. There's footage...
I would say that Ahsoka probably will then. Because I would assume Ahsoka's done... From what I've can gather of like internet and people talking about it and stuff, Ahsoka seems to be doing better than Andor. Andor, from what I can remember, like critically wasn't. Well, it was all right.
Well, people didn't understand Andor. That was the problem. But that's a concern for another day.
Yeah.
The concern is now Ahsoka season 2.
Yep. It should get one.
A lot of the criticism of the finale was, before we get on to our rating and our rec.
Rating and a rec.
A lot of criticism of the finale was there was not a lot of Baylan and Shin. I know they're two characters that really hinge on, but there was like 25 seconds of them in the finale.
Yeah.
What is Baylan going to do? He's on that great Mortis thing, Clone Wars. He's on the statue of the father, looking out to the altar of Mortis. Unfortunately, Ray Stevenson has passed away.
Yeah.
Are they going to recast? Why?
Yeah.
They can't CGI him. That's too disrespectful. He's not Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing's been dead 20 years.
Yeah.
But Ray Stevenson passed away while the show was due to come out, and everything was already released.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can't. I don't think you could recast it. People saying that they are going to. I don't think they should, because who could do it other than Ray Stevenson? I think the best policy is to just write him out.
Yeah.
Somehow, just say he's off.
I was going to say he's got to do something else.
Have Shin talk about him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. So that's all he really can do.
And maybe continue it in a novel.
Yeah.
Or in an animated, or in like Tales of the Jedi, right?
Yep.
If you watch that, Tales of the Jedi with a sound alike.
Yeah.
If you can, or do a novel or something like that.
Yeah.
Do something that continues his story, otherwise of the show or the film.
Yeah.
And that's so much setting it up, though.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't plan on anyone ever passing away, but I think his story does have to be continued because it is so pivotal now. But I think just have Shin talk about him in season 2.
Yep.
Maybe Shin knows what he did or whatever, what he was going to do, and there are ways to. I think there's a ways to get around it. Which
there
is
are ways
sad
to get
say,
around it. I mean, if you really want to like push it as well, if you can get a standard, like just have like voice messages or something come through, like some kind of like radio communication or something.
Yeah, like Baylan's
just like every now and then.
Shin or something like that,
But
like with the hologram that Ezra left for Sabine in the first episode. Yeah, I think.
But no, the best thing is just for him to just be off screen
and writing out,
doing his own thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone's going to mind because it was so ambiguous what his purpose was anyway that it might as well be up to interpretation at this point. People thought it was Abeloth. People thought it was loads of weird things. So there's loads of legend stuff. So it was like, I think it's up for interpretation mostly of what he was actually trying to do.
Yeah.
Let's give it a rating and we'll go into a rec.
Okay.
This is for the whole series, mind you, not episode to episode. We did
All
rate the first episode, but we'll rate now the entire series.
Yes.
You go first.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. I had a fun time. So I'm going to give it somewhere in the realm of about an 8, I think.
Okay, I was going to go for an 8.5 and a 9.
Okay.
Because you said 8, I will go 8.5.
Okay, there we go. It was good. I enjoyed it.
The Ahsoka series. Yeah, great. Almost like a Rebel Season 5 for many people. And Rebels had a lot of fans. I think it was. It came to a stop in Season 4, and people wanted more.
Yep.
So this is a great live-action continuation. They've got Ahsoka, you've got Hera, you've got Sabine, you've got Ezra, you've got Thrawn, you've got all the big characters. I think, this is a worthwhile conclusion. And if we get Season 2, even better.
Yeah, we should do.
Now, the weekly rec this week.
Yes.
It is not. I thought my process was for this.
Right.
I could easily get a Star Wars Rebels episode. Do a Star Wars Rebels episode with Thrawn in it. Right.
Yes.
It's going to be about Thrawn. I love Thrawn.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Thrawn t-shirt.
You are.
I have a shrine to Thrawn in my home. I do. I've got his Black Series figure. I've got his pop vinyl. I know they're going to release another pop vinyl. I'll end up buying that anyway.
Fair enough.
They released. You know what a Hot Toys is?
Kind
they
of.
released a Hot Toys Thrawn.
Hot Toys. They're really, really expensive.
Yeah. Look it up. It's about £220.
Yeah.
Of Thrawn for last week. It looks like he's got his face. He's got like the skin of his face.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. I so want it. I've got the books and everything. I've not got Heir to the Empire, but I have his original Thrawn trilogy. Well, no, when Thrawn came back into canon with Star Wars Rebels, Timothy Zahn, the creator of Grand Admiral Thrawn, the writer of Heir to the Empire, came out with a new Thrawn trilogy, detailing what his adventures would be in canon.
Okay.
There's the first book, Thrawn, I think 2017 or something.
Right.
Thrawn Alliances, which is his story with Darth Vader.
Okay.
Thrawn Treason, which is his story with kind of Palpatine and all that, which is set between the seasons. And then he went back and he did another trilogy called Thrawn Ascendancy,
Right.
which is about his story in the Chiss Ascendancy.
Okay.
And
Here we go. As for all the audio listeners here, Murray's reaching into his bag. He's pulling out of his bag a white box.
not a white box, a white book.
A white book.
Have a look.
It's a book.
This is Thrawn Ascendancy.
With blue pages.
Like
Like they've skinned Thrawn.
Yes.
Put him on some page.
What is the? Read me the title.
Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising.
Yeah, the first book of the Thrawn Ascendancy series. This is a prequel. This is when Thrawn was in the Chiss Expansionary Defense Force
He's stood
on Chisilla
with like snakes or something.
It's the Chimera. It's the logo of the Chimera. Because on the bottom of the Star Destroyer, there's like a decal of the Chimera. It's actually a story of how he gets that. Gets that decal as well. So you can read the blurb on the back.
A long time ago, beyond the galaxy far, far away.
Beyond the galaxy far, far away.
Do you mean read the blurb as in the...
Yeah, in there. Sorry, yeah, read that blurb.
in the hardcover.
In the hardcover, yeah. This is the hardcover. I'm not a pleb.
I like hardcovers.
Okay.
Discover Thrawn's origins with his Chiss Ascendancy in the first book in an epic new Star Wars trilogy from best-selling author Timothy Zahn. Beyond the edge of a galaxy lie the unknown regions, chaotic, uncharted, and near impassable, possessing hidden secrets and dangers in equal measure. And nestled within their swirling chaos is the Ascendancy, home to the enigmatic Chiss and the 9 ruling families that lead them. The peace of Ascendancy, a beacon of calm and stability, is shattered after a daring attack on the Chiss capital that reveals no trace of the enemy. Baffled, the Ascendancy dispatches one of its brightest young military officers to root out the unseen assailants. A recruit born of no title but adopted into the powerful family of the myth and given the name Thrawn. With the might of the expansionary fleet at his back and aided by his comrade, Admiral R. Alani, Thrawn begins to piece together the answers he's looking for. But as Thrawn's first command probes deeper into the vast stretch of space his people call the Chaos, he realizes that the mission he has been given is not what it seems, and the threat to the Ascendancy is only just beginning.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a book.
Of course. This is Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising. It's Timothy Zahn is just amazing. I think he's a fantastic writer, especially for dialogue and for the inner monologue of Thrawn, him being Thrawn and thinking and coming out with the lines. I'm going to give it another 8.
Solid. That is solid.
I'll give it an 8 for Chiss Thrawn. I almost called him Chiss Ascendancy. No, it's Thrawn Ascendancy. Thrawn is in the Chiss Ascendancy.
Yes.
Thrawn is in the Chiss Ascendancy. I'm going to give Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising an 8.
That's pretty high.
Thank you very much. This has been great.
Yes.
I'm very excited for this to come out and for bring on season 2.
Yeah.
Bring on more Grand Admiral Thrawn. I want to see him. Thank you very much. It is a goodbye from me. Goodbye, and a goodbye from Corey.
Goodbye.